Hi, I'm Laurie Jackman. I'm a registered dietitian with Sobeys here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Sobeys has a team of dietitians across Canada. We work together to really provide meal solutions and nutrition solutions for our customers and their families. Today, what I want to make for you is a Mediterranean power salad. Let's get started. So you have your recipe in front of you, and we're going to get started with that first ingredient, which is oat groats. So you may not have heard of that before. Oat groats look like this. And groats is simply a term that talks about using the whole kernel of a grain with just the husk and the outer hull removed. So oat groats, this is really how all oats start, as an oat groat. The benefit of this is you're getting more fiber, more vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So I did cook this up ahead of time, 2/3 a cup as your recipe suggests. And now I'm going to pour that into our bowl. So one of the things with oat groats that you want to remember, of course, they're going to take a little bit longer to cook. So as your recipe suggests, it's about 45 to 50 minutes. If you don't have oat groats, you don't have those in your pantry and you don't want to head out to the grocery store, any whole grain is going to work here. If you have quinoa, bulgur, barley, wild rice, brown rice, those are all great substitutions that you can use in place. Okay, so next on our recipe card, we're going to be making our dressing. So if you look from your olive oil right down to your garlic, those are all the ingredients for our dressing. So this is a basic template for you to follow. It is so great to make your own dressing because we really can control the flavors and the ingredients in here. The basic template is we want a healthy fat with an acid and then something to bind it together. So we're using an emulsifier, and today we're using Dijon mustard as an emulsifier. So for our healthy fat, we have olive oil. We're going to pour that, and I like to do this in a mason jar because we literally can just shake this up. You can also do it in a bowl and whisk this together, of course. We're also going to add our balsamic vinegar to this, and now we're going to add another acid, which is lemon juice. So a tip for you, whenever you're adding lemon to a recipe, don't throw away that zest. That's where all the flavor is. If you don't have a microplane, I don't have one at home, I use my cheese grater. It works perfectly fine. So you just want to zest the outer side of lemon. Be careful not to get that white part in there because that gets a little bit bitter. So once you get that zest going, you want to add that to your dressing. And then we're going to cut our lemon and just squeeze that in there. So if you look at your recipe, it says 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I mean, you can certainly measure that out if you like. I just tend to add the whole lemon. There's really no rules here when it comes to this. You can add and change your flavor as you like. Okay, we'll add our emulsifier here, which is our Dijon mustard. So this makes this nice and creamy. Add that to our mason jar. And then, of course, any flavor you like. So you can't have any great dressing, in my mind, without some garlic. So we're going to add our 2 cloves of garlic here. This is fresh garlic, which I chopped ahead of time. And then we've got some dill. So in my pantry today, I didn't have dry dill, as your recipe card suggests. So I'm using fresh dill. So the rule of thumb here is you want to 3 times it if you're going from dry to fresh. So 1 teaspoon of dry is going to equal a tablespoon of fresh dill. I'm going to pour that into my mason jar. And now all I'm going to do is put that lid on and shake it up. So if this is too much dressing, this is not too much dressing for our recipe here today. If you need a lot of dressing, you can certainly save the extra in your mason jar from the fridge for later uses. You can also use this as a marinade, which is a really great suggestion for any of your protein. So there you go, your dressing is done. Okay, so now we're going to get to the last part of our recipe. So these are the last 4 ingredients on your recipe card. So it says to add some tomato and some cucumber. Now on your recipe card, it does say to take the seeds out. That is something that I would suggest if you're going to be serving this maybe tomorrow or the next day. And the only reason for that is the consistency will get a little bit more watery. You certainly don't need to do that step if you don't mind the consistency or if you're eating it today. So we'll add in our tomato. Now I just used a tomato that was on sale in my grocery store. You can really use any type of tomato you like. If you had some cherry or grape tomatoes, you could just throw those in here and not even chop them. Now we're going to add our cucumber. Just making sure that these are all chopped up into bite-sized pieces is a nice thing to do. And now we've got our lentils. So this is our plant-based protein that we're adding to this salad. Lentils are going to give it some fiber, some protein, and of course, they're a big part of the Mediterranean diet. They're giving you so much nutrition without that saturated fat that we would get from an animal protein. Now these are canned lentils. This is a great place to start if these are not a part of your normal diet. So all you do is just rinse and drain these, and that's going to remove about 40% of the sodium. So they're excellent to pop into recipes. And if you don't have a recipe based completely on lentils, you can throw them in things. I always throw them in my spaghetti sauce, my chili, my salads, just for that extra boost of nutrition. And then we're going to add, of course, salad is not complete in my books without a little bit of cheese. And we're going to add some feta cheese to this recipe. But again, you can certainly substitute this if you would rather add goat cheese. You can do that no problem. Remember, any vegetable is going to work in this. This is just a template. If you want to add some peppers to this, some corn, some carrots, make it more Mediterranean with olives, certainly make it your own. So now we're going to add all of our ingredients together. We're going to take our dressing that we made. We're going to pour this over top. This is a nice creamy dressing, almost like a vinaigrette here. Mix this in. And what you want to do now is chill this for about 30 minutes before serving so all of these beautiful flavors have a chance to blend. And then we're going to plate it up. Okay, so after you've chilled your recipe for about 30 minutes, again for those flavors to blend, we're just going to plate it up. So this recipe is amazing served as is as a meal because it has all those components that we're looking for. It has your whole grains, it has your vegetables and fruit, and it has your plant-based protein. And those are the things we want in a meal so that we stay full for longer and get the nutrients that we need. This could also be served as a little side dish to a meal. And what I love about this recipe, there's so many other ways that you can serve it. It's so versatile, and I can't wait to show you those. And one of the things we recommend as dietitians is really using vegetables as vehicles. So here you see we've taken our Mediterranean power salad and we stuffed some red peppers. This would be great. You could grill this or you could eat it as is. We also have some little appetizers here. So these are just cucumbers cut, hollowed out. Our Mediterranean power salad is stuffed inside and we've garnished with a little feta and dill. Next we have our zucchini boats. So all you want to do is take your zucchini, cut it lengthwise, and you're just going to scoop out the insides here. You're basically going to fill this with your Mediterranean power salad and you're ready to go. These are excellent ways to enjoy this salad again. Another great idea for this salad is making a little appetizer pizza or meal. So all I've done here is taken a store-bought flatbread, or you could make your own. I've topped it with a Mediterranean power salad. Now we're gonna get fancy. We're gonna add a little bit of arugula on top. Again, adding more vegetables is always a nice thing to do. I'm gonna garnish that with a little bit of feta cheese. Beautiful color. Now I'm going to add some balsamic glaze. So this is really a staple in my pantry. It adds such a great flavor, dimension of flavor to food. Little bit of sprinkle of dill. And again, you've got an amazing meal or appetizer. So impressive. So I hope you really enjoyed this recipe today and seen the many uses it has. Being served as a great complete meal or all of these other different options. Saving time and energy in the kitchen is such a great thing to do. So when you make a recipe, always think of other ways that you can use it. If you want more information, more nutrition tips and recipes, be sure to follow Sobeys Dietitians on Facebook.